Partnership for Community Wellness, and I know most of you here, so you probably all know that already. Thanks so much for being here this evening. Thank you for coming and joining us in recognizing some young people. We actually had a number of young people that couldn't join us. One person that was COVID exposed this morning emailed us that, unfortunately, they did send in a video, so we will get to hear the remarks, but thank you for being here, and certainly we're taking plenty of photos. We're going to be sending out their awards, so you'll know that we honor them in their spirit, so thank you. I wanted to open with a brief poem. This is called Think of Others. As you prepare your breakfast, think of others. Do not forget to feed the pigeons. As you wage your wars, think of others. Do not forget those who fight for peace. As you pay your water bill, think of others, those who are nursed by clouds. As you return home to your home, think of others. Do not forget the people of the camps. As you sleep and count the stars, think of others, those who have nowhere to sleep. As you liberate yourself with metaphors, think of others, those who have lost the right to speak. And as you think of others far away, think of yourself and say, if only I were a candle in the night. We wanted to celebrate these young people because not only, certainly they've thought of others, but they've done for others in the community. So once again, just thanks for being here with us. And I'm going to end with
Hi everyone. So my name is Inaugural. I am a youth consultant for TYSA, where I get to work on campaigns, social media campaigns, and all that jazz. And like those zines that we have here today, we worked as a collective to do those. Shout out Shanice for designing those. So I wanted to talk a little bit about this event. We really just wanted to showcase the youth, which is something we haven't really been able to do in like the past 2 years because of the pandemic. And also shout out to everyone being here, and being past the pandemic a little bit. I mean, I know we're still getting through it, but we're here today and we should celebrate that. We should celebrate the fact that we have youth who are still working on projects and still working on outreach, and that's amazing. So I just want to take the evening, and TYSA as a whole wants to take the evening to celebrate you guys and what you've been doing, and to just say thank you. And so with that, we're going to present the first awardee, who unfortunately could not be here today. But this is Maya Burke. She is a director, playwright, an actor, a vocalist, a poet, and photographer from NYC. She graduated with her Bachelor's of Science in Drama in 2021 from CSI. Her directing credits include Good Grief, A Best Friend Play, and we are proud to present, as well as performed and directed. She's a really good actress, so if you ever see her, go check her out. She is a part of the Makers Ensemble, and also works with Illumina Production, and is a teaching artist with LEAP NYC.
Hello. I firstly just wanted to apologize that I'm not going to be there in person. I recently got some COVID exposure, and I feel like everybody's health is my #1 priority. I want to make sure that I don't expose anyone else before I find out if I'm positive or negative, so I really just want to make sure that everybody stays as safe as possible. I have my speech here, so I'm going to be glancing over there from time to time, but I did want to just say thank you so much for this award. It really means a lot to be recognized, and I appreciate the validation for the work that I've put in. In general, the whole evening is such a wonderful ceremony because it recognizes the young people changing the shape of the world, which is so important, especially in a world that is often so discouraging of change. Around the time of the pandemic, we saw the world begin to call out racist behaviors of the system, of the government, and of the founding principles of the United States and its policies. These things have always been here, but it was lockdown, I believe, that really called on us to question our lives and gave us an opportunity to reflect. to think about our fundamentals, our values, what's truly important to us, and what the world should look like going forward. For me, and for a lot of Black people, it was the disappointment of being in the midst of a pandemic and still witnessing police brutality when we weren't even supposed to be going outside. And it was George Floyd's death and Breonna Taylor's murder in her own home that really made me feel like I had to do something to change the system in any way that I could. I had seen the way that the world treated Black women firsthand in my own life, and am praying for a world that one day will be caring of people of color, where we can be ourselves without fear for our lives. Where we can be allowed to just be and say, I belong here, and not have to picket about it. With this mindset, which wasn't a new mindset per se, but definitely fueled by the climate around me, I questioned how I would be able to make change and inspire others on my own. In the meantime, I wasn't even able to drink yet. I'm 22 now, and that's young. But I never feel like I have all the time in the world, because that would be ignorant of the way the world has worked as I've seen it. Oluwatoyin Salau was only 19 when she went missing for 9 days and was found dead during the protests of 2020. So it's scary to be a Black woman in America. So, the work. As a theater maker, I witnessed that the pandemic had left lots of artists with way too much to say and no platform to say it. We were angry, especially artists of color, which most of my friends are. I saw this struggle and felt the heartbreak of wanting our sense of purpose back. I thought, how can I give us all a chance to speak, to use our art and make effective change? So I created A Reflection on Race, which was a multidisciplinary video that showcased the work around the topic of race in the year 2020. We had poets, musicians, painters, photographers, actors, activists, and more just give about a 2-minute performance saying their piece about their perspective on the state of America. We used the project to help raise awareness and to let others see that the communities affected by the violence done to us was happening to real people, not just theoretical individuals. That was the first project I ever did that made me feel like a true activist, or an artivist, as a mentor of mine likes to say. Following the unrest of the summer of 2020, I was determined to do more of this work of humanizing marginalized groups to the very white Staten Island. I had been doing theater for about a year on the island, in and outside of school, and had been cast in small roles for most of my time there. And I knew that I was talented enough to get leads, but I was dealing with a racist, nepotistic, and cliquey field. So I decided to take things into my own hands and become a director, and shape rooms the way I wanted them. Inclusive spaces with massive amounts of collaboration and support from each other. I also decided to pick shows that showcase actors of color and the issues that they, and they only, dealt with. I directed Funny House of a Negro by Adrienne Kennedy as my senior project at the College of Staten Island. That show centers on a girl who struggles to learn to love herself because she is Black, and deals with the issues of mental health in the Black community. In summer of 2021, I directed We Are Proud to Present, a presentation by Jackie Sibley's jury at Maker Park on Front Street. That play tackles the difficulty of navigating race in mixed company, 3 Black actors and 3 white actors in a rehearsal room doing a play about the Herero genocide that happened in Namibia from 1884 to 1915. And this past February, I put on Good Grief, a Best Friend play at Hemsley Hall in historic Richmond Town. That play centers on a Nigerian family whose daughter has recently suffered the loss of her best friend in a car accident. It discusses the different ways of coping with loss, which felt very timely in the pandemic. All of these shows not only highlight Black artists, but also incorporate contemporary writers who are discussing current issues. I found that, until very recently, a lot of mainstream Black theater tends to be writers from the past, and it is extremely important to know that Black people are also writing about the world as we know it to be today. I also put together a Christmas cabaret in order to make sure all of my actors and crew were paid, because it is important that artists are financially compensated for their time and their efforts. Theater is a real job, and we work long days and nights to get our work done, even outside the rehearsal room. So it is important to take us seriously and pay us as such. I have spent the last 2 years trying to transform Staten Island community theater and making sure it is more diverse and inclusive amongst the actors, directors, and audiences. I think we have come a long way, but the work is definitely not done. It is important for me to utilize my platform and my energy to bring up artists like me into the opportunities that they might not necessarily have access to. It is integral that we all challenge the community that tends to do things the same way as it has always been. Only by leading by example can we teach others the way it could be, so the world becomes the way it should be. Thank you.
Please welcome our Health and Wellbeing awardee, Shanice Rodriguez.
Hi everyone. It feels really good to get this award. I really don't know where to start. So I've always loved working with young people. It's always been my goal to work with like high school students, middle school students, because I think they're the most malleable, and I think it's important to use that time where they're growing to steer them in the right direction. Specifically 2 projects that I've worked with SIPCW with come to mind that really I think is a highlight of my position here at SIPCW so far. And it was the youth-led event that was done last year with Darcy, who's no longer with us, but she was here last year. And actually, there's 2 youth in the room that were part of that project, Vincent and Nadia. And it was great because I met them when they were in high school, and I really don't know how to explain how special it felt to be part of something where young people are the ones leading the conversations and it's not just adults. Even though I am close in age with them, it felt good to be more of the spectator and watching them take the role and kind of shaping the event the way they wanted it to be. And especially because it was mental health and racial justice, something, 2 really big topics in our world, especially at the time. It was really special for me to sit back and see just how important young people, they have so many important things to say, and they add so many valuable conversations and things to the table that I don't think a lot of us get to see, especially the internet kind of ruins, young voices, and it sometimes the wrong voices get put out, and the more important, smaller voices get drowned out by all of the noise. So it was really great to work with them and see them put together this whole presentation, this whole event, where we had a really good turnout. The second project that I've worked with in SIPCW is the Body Positivity Campaign as a youth consultant. And that specific campaign I really, really felt was special because in middle school, high school, I used to be bullied a lot. So it just felt really special to have something that, even if one person saw it, and it was just one young person that ran across those pictures, and they were like, wow, this is, I don't know, I'm sorry if I get choked up, but just knowing one person might have come across those pictures and said it doesn't matter what body I'm in, I'm still beautiful, I'm still, I don't know, that felt really special to me. So yeah, that project was really, really great to work on, and thank you for this award. I'm thankful. Thank you.
The state senator sent a citation, as well as Councilman Hanks and a certificate from us. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Shanice, for your speech. Next, we have the Award for Community Organizing and Activism Award. We have Nadia Ibrahim, who recently turned 19 and is currently attending Brooklyn College, majoring in computer science. She enjoys reading and playing video games, and when she's not doing that, she enjoys working with SIPCW and advocating for youth voices. So let's give it up for Nadia.
I'm not really much of a speaker, but thank you very much for this award. And back when the pandemic started, I was very in this sort of stump where I had no idea what to do, and school was just very overwhelming, things like that. Especially I was in my junior year, and my SAT was just very claustrophobic. So when my high school teacher, Miss Walters, she pushed me to do SIPCW, and I met Darcy Hearn and everybody Vincent and Shanice, and I was able to do things like mental health and able to help kids that were going through the same emotions I was going through. It was very satisfying, I guess. And lately it's been getting better, since everything is opening up. And we've been doing other projects such as the tobacco and vaping with kids that were just vaping nowadays because of all these images and things that cross again to their heads. And it's very nice to just figure out my talents and things like that with all these graphic images that I was able to put together and show kids that the statistics and things like it's not worth it. So yeah, I didn't really know what else to say, but thank you very much.
We're getting all That's it. Once you high school.
It's okay. Okay. Now, the last two folks couldn't join us, but I did want to, read their bios out so we could still sort of honor them. Our Media and Journalism Award was awarded to a 17-year-old named Ayala Janjua. She's a senior at Fort Richmond High School. Ayala is really happy to have not only received this award, but also for the fact that she had the opportunity to help out around her community in the first place. She will always be thankful to those who gave her the opportunities to help out, such as the youth group that TYSA organized to create a zine about the pandemic, or the people who worked together to run the blog Plea for the Fit, who allowed Ayala, along with another student, to help bring more awareness to social issues via social media. She's thankful for the opportunity she's been given, as well as this award. Can we give a round to Ayala?
And then finally, for the Education Award, we have Trokon Tarr, who is an 18-year-old senior at Concord High School. He enjoys eating soul food and making his own dishes. He wants to be in the union for HVAC to be a technician.
Give it up for Trokon. And that closes our awardees. Just once again, we really want to sincerely thank you for being here. If you haven't eaten enough, please eat some more. Also, if you haven't taken a zine, please take one. The zines that are at the front table there, one talks about, they were both youth-led. Shanice and Nadia were parts of those projects. One focuses on the risks of vaping and tries to encourage folks not to vape and informs them about the risks. And then the other, we took a mental health perspective, and we really wanted to talk about trauma and resiliency during the pandemic. So we have plenty of copies. We want to get them out into community centers to really inform young people about and encourage them. So.
And Nadia designed this one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Before we disperse, I'm Adrian Body, I'm with the Staten Island Partnership for Community Wellness. I want to thank Sean and Angelica and Courtney and Shanice and Marilee and Stephen and anybody else, Vincent. Yes, you guys led an incredible program. I just want to say that this has been some of the most exciting work that we've been doing at SFPCW. We've really shifted the way we approach working with community and youth specifically, and just are blown away daily by what you are producing and leading. So we're so appreciative, and what a beautiful night, and thank you all for coming.
This is what we need to be doing. It's the work that government can't do. Listening to you guys speak, more eloquent and thoughtful and meaningful than most of the adults that I get to listen to all day long. So it gives us great hope for the future, not just of our future here on Staten Island, but for New York, for our nation. We will get there as long as you all do not get knocked off your track, stay motivated. We're here to support you with what you need, with whatever we can do, but keep doing it. You guys are awesome, and it's really inspiring, and I thank you for the work that you're doing. I know Adrian a long time. How long has it been? 11 years? Yeah, we're getting older and grayer, and sometimes it gets frustrating, but I think that these things really truly give us the energy to continue to do what we do, and all play our role. And so if there's anything that Senator Lanza or our office can do for you, for your families, if there are ideas that you have, we want to work together and truly partner together. We've been supporting TYSA and SAPCW for 11 years, right? And we're excited about the future. So I thank you for having me here. And on behalf of Senator Lanza, I wish you continued luck and success. Have a great summer, and hope to see you again soon.
No.